Welcome to lesson 9.10. This is all about capacity. Your warm-up, I have a little game for you to play. It's called Guess the Shape. Here's your clue. I have 4 sides, and only 2 sides of me are parallel. What am I? So if you know right away, you're welcome just to continue listening and I will show you. If you're not sure what this answer is, though, you need to probably use your resources. So think about 4 sides and only 2 of them are parallel. Pause now to do some research. Okay, you're back, so you must know your answer. The answer is a trapezoid. So if you count up the sides, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, and only 2 of them are parallel. This top one and the bottom line are parallel. They could go on forever and never intercept each other. Today we're going to be talking about capacity. Your learning target is I can convert between liters, milliliters, and cubic centimeters. We're also going to be looking a little bit and doing a review from last year on gallons, quarts, pints, cups, and ounces. Your math message says, what does capacity mean? Hopefully this picture down below here will give you a couple of hints, but stop and think about what do you think capacity is. Capacity is a measure of how much a container can hold. We might measure the capacity of a bottle, a cup, a carton, or anything else which can hold something else. This carton of milk holds 1 liter of milk. It has the capacity of 1 liter. How do you think this is different from volume? We've been studying volume. What do you think? Well, volume is the amount of space a 3D object takes up. Okay, for example, if you think about a Kleenex box, it takes up the space. While capacity is the volume a container filled with a liquid or solid that can be poured. So that's saying that Kleenex box, we're now going to fill it up. So if something has like a really thick edge, if you think about a cooler, can it hold as much stuff on the inside as it is volume on the outside? No, the cooler is going to take up a lot bigger volume because it's a bigger object with thick walls, and it's not going to be able to hold as much as the actual cooler as the space takes up. So those are 2 different things. The volume is how much space the object takes up. So think about like in your closet, how much it's going to take space it'll take up. The capacity is how much something can hold. Measuring capacity. We can use different equipment to measure capacity. If you think about some things like measuring jugs, measuring spoons, beakers, measuring cylinders, those are all different things we can use to measure. And we've used that in our last functional text when you did some cooking, so thinking about those things. What are some measurement words we use for capacity? I want you to screenshot this and write down as many capacity measurement words as you can, and then raise your hand and show those words to a teacher before continuing. Okay, so here are some measurement words. You might hear of liter and milliliters. Liter is like a big smart water bottle, okay? Or you can have a liter of pop. Lots of times pop comes in 2-liter jugs. Those are the big jugs. But you can also buy them in the 1 liter, which is a medium-sized one. And milliliters are the tiny little eyedroppers, okay? So if you look on an eyedropper, just usually about 1 or 2 drops is going to be a milliliter. So they're very tiny. The measurement conversion of these is 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters. So if I took an eyedropper, I would have to drop it in there 1,000 times to try to fill up this liter bottle. I wonder though, a liter, how many centimeters cubed that would be? Remember our little yellow cubes? How many of those do you think we could fit in that smart water bottle? Okay, well I'm going to show you right now. We're going to practice this. Hey 5M, so I want to demonstrate for you talking about conversion between a cubic centimeter, which remember is just this tiny little yellow cube, which we have been using for volume. So we've been thinking about how many of these are in a shape when we talk about a centimeter squared, or I mean a centimeter cubed. So here I have this container and it is full. It has 10 10 centimeters in the width, 10 in the height, and 10 in the length. So we know that there are actually 10 times 10 times 10. It would be 1,000 cubic centimeters in here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and dump those out. So there were 1,000 of these tiny little guys in there. okay? And now we're going to see, I also have here 1 liter of water, okay? And these are up on the front table, so if you want to look closer at a liter compared to this box here. So this is 1,000 cubic centimeters, and this is a liter of water. Now we know that there are 1,000 milliliters in here, so 1,000 little eyedroppers of drops, 1,000 drops in here to equal 1 liter. So we're going to see if a liter is going to be equal here. And if this, in fact, does fit in here, then we'll know that milliliters, 1 milliliter, or 1,000 milliliters equals 1,000 cubic centimeters. So I'm going to just pour this in here. Try not to spill it. All right, whew. Clear up to the top. Okay, so there it is, as full as it could get without me spilling it. So here we have 1,000 milliliters, and it's taking up the exact same space as 1,000 cubic centimeters did. So this helps us to understand that actually 1 eyedropper of water would be, which is 1 milliliter, would be equal to 1 cubic centimeter, which is one of these tiny little yellow cubes. All right, this will help you with the rest of your lesson. Okay, since now we know 1 liter is equivalent to 1,000 centimeters cubed, we also knew that 1 liter equaled how many milliliters again? Oh yeah, 1,000 milliliters. So what is the relationship between milliliters, the eyedropper, and a cubic centimeter? Well, they're in fact equal. So 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. And 1 milliliter is just 1/1000th of a liter. Also, you can think about it as 1 liter is 1,000 cubic centimeters. So 1 milliliter, in fact, does equal 1 centimeter cubed. So 1 little eyedropper equals 1 of those little yellow cubes. So we're going to now practice with some different volume shapes. In this circumstance and in your assignment today, the volume that an object takes up is actually going to be equal to its capacity. So if we remember our formula here, that volume equals the area of the base times the height. Or if you don't have the area of the base, you can think of as volume as length times width times height. 3-dimensional. Okay, so here we have a cube, which all of its dimensions, since it's a cube, are the exact same. And I want to know what is the volume of this cube. Go ahead and pause now to figure that out. Okay, you're back. So the volume of this cube is in fact going to be the length, 3, times the width, 3, times the height, 3. Well, I know that 3 times 3 is 9, and 9 times 3 is 27. So 27, and then our label is centimeters, but since we have 3 dimensions, we need to remember that we have a label of cubed, okay, which is the little 3. Now, if the cubes were filled with water, how many milliliters would it hold? So we're saying this cube up here would hold 27 of those little yellow cubes, because we'd fit 3 along this way, 3 this way, and 3 deep. So if that's the case, if we had to do eyedroppers, how many eyedroppers would it fill? Well, if we look back to our conversions, we can remember that 1 milliliter equals 1 centimeter cubed. So if it takes 27 centimeters cubed, it's also going to be 27 milliliters. Okay, pretty simple there. Now I have some other conversions. I want you to think about, if I have 3 liters, how many milliliters am I going to have? If I have 420 centimeters cubed, how many milliliters will that be? And if I have 10,000 milliliters, how many liters will that be? Write those down. If you need to, you can go back to this equivalent page to help you out. So you can screenshot this, and now screenshot this, and complete this activity. Come back to me when you're finished. Okay, you're back. So 3 liters. Well, I know that 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. So if I have 3 of them, it's going to be 3,000 milliliters. Okay? Now, If we go back to our conversions, we know that 420 centimeters cubed is going to be equal to how many milliliters? Well, remember an eye drop is the same as a cube, so it's going to also be 420 milliliters. Okay? Here we have 10,000 milliliters equals how many liters? Well, once again, thinking back up here, 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters. If I have 10,000 milliliters, that will be 10 liters. Now, those are the metric units of measurement. We also have standard units of measurement, which are for capacity, which are your gallons, quarts, pints, cups, and ounces, fluid ounces. These are a couple of tools you can use to help you. I know you've seen these before, so I'm not going to go over them too much, but they do help with our conversions. If you are not sure on how to make one of these yet, I would suggest taking some time right now to draw one of these on a piece of paper or on your iPad just to practice, okay? So we're going to use this to help. My favorite one is the G. I think it's pretty simple. So it shows a gallon. It shows 4 Q's inside of my gallon, which are quarts. Each quart has 2 pints, and each pint has 2 little C's for cups. Then we also need to remember that 1 cup, 1 C equals 8 ounces. Okay? And what we're talking about here is the fluid ounces, not the pound ounces, okay? Not the weight. So if I have 3 gallons, how many pints will that be? Well, if I look at my 1 gallon, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pints. So if I have 3 of those, 3 groups of 8, I know, would be 24 pints. Okay? I want you to go ahead and complete these next 2 right now, and then come back to the video to check them with me. Do that now. Okay, you're back. So 3 quarts is how many cups? Well, if I look into 1 quart, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 cups in there. So if I have 3 groups of 4, that's going to be 12. Next, I have 3 cups is how many fluid ounces? Well, down here I have 1 cup is 8 fluid ounces. So if I have 3 groups of 8, I'm going to have 24 fluid ounces. Okay? You're going to have to do some of those today on your worksheets. Your assignment today is journal pages 327, 328, and 330. One is going to be talking about milliliters to cubic centimeters and milliliters to liters. The next one is going to be converting some gallons to quarts to pints to cups and ounces. And then the 330 will be a review of volume. Okay? Make sure you have these checked before you move on today.